fine, I'm good now.
Never seen a finish on tables that picks up the oil from people's hands like these do. Driving me nuts.
You should be good. It is, yeah.
Sorry. Please make sure that's all clean. All right, I think we're good.
You don't want anything to drink, I can bring anything. Thanks. Yep.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm gonna do this. Hi, thanks to meet you. Yeah, I don't think we met. Are you newer?
Yes, I am. I'll remind you. By Nicole.
Wonderful. Hey, how are you? You can call me Miss. I'm still young.
Okay, you're on it. It's like something.
Fine.
I'm sorry. How you doing? I'm on vacancy. I'm Joey. Nice to meet you.
No, I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look at that.
Families and.
Okay. Are these all your Popeyes from sure? No. Look how cute you are.
Well, Popeyes this year and when I was living in Colorado.
You're so cute.
All I did last year.
Oh, yeah, it's like all the swag stuff we have in our fine or in the cabinets. But they were comfortable. Cute.
This is long enough.
This is what I love about you.
Oh.
That's somebody on that. Yeah, wake up. Hey, how was it? It was great. Yeah, it really was. So your energy boost? Yeah. So I go back and then I'm Friday never does.
I'm actually, by the way.
Hi,
I'm Catherine.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Yes, like,
I
just
didn't have time to read
last
my
week,
notes,
so.
I heard that.
And it's not, I don't need to talk about it, I'm boring that sort of thing, so you're just going. Perfect. Get that process started, so.
For what I was
Great,
doing.
absolutely, that's right.
That's a good thing.
My versions of it that way.
All
So I don't know whether it's just. But I felt like. Yeah.
Just look at the people you know.
CEO summit.
You're all hearing the words.
I know. I know. Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Was I?
Girl, that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, so it was just, yeah, like they. Hi, board. But no, great stuff. Something up to notes and stuff together. I was at Otter AI where it just takes all your notes. The end of the transcripts are recorded. So. Just don't know how. Yeah. 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 No, I guess a little further away and then like only this point, I was looking at snow and like, and then she doesn't have like so much sense of the moment. But what I'm excited. Yeah. Like informed.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
See you back in there.
Thank you again. Yeah. Well, I would do it, yeah, I would hate it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I thought it was true.
Yeah, all right, you got it. Hi, gorgeous. I'm gonna turn off my phone. Are you serving food today?
No, those are all my pop buys that I've done over the last year. I just brought them as samples. So you look at me. Should we just get started?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. We go, Emily? And today we're gonna talk about my post-closing system. Good. And keeping clients for life. And I've talked to several of you about this, but we never took like really dived in deep to exactly what I do and the logistics of it. I hate when you go to family reunion and people say, I do all these things, but then you're like, okay, that's great, but how do you do those? Like, what's the logistics of that and how does that happen? So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And dive a little bit deeper into exactly what I do and how I do it and how I stay consistent with it. So we're going to talk about my post-closing checklist. There's a whole gamut of things that I do after closing, which is where I feel like the relationship actually takes off, right? So we're showing them, we're doing all the things for them, and we don't really have time. We haven't had time to really build those relationships. So this is where it starts to take off. I want to give you some ease of doing it and then some consistency. How do you stay consistent? So we're going to talk about systematizing past client touches and to create clients for life. And then we're going to talk about my Popeyes and how I do those and how I organize it and once again stay consistent with them. So originally, well, always my 5-year goal when I got into the business 3 years ago, was to create clients for life and to, at my 5-year mark, start having clients who are referring me business consistently and have the majority of my business be through referral or past client interaction or, what's that word? Repeat business. And really, my system kind of arrived out of COVID too, because in the beginning of COVID, we were running so fast. And I felt like I didn't have the chance to build relationships with people. We were in and out of houses in 15 minutes and we were writing offers all over the place, but there wasn't enough time. Sometimes, in some cases, not even to have a consultation where you begin that relationship. So I asked myself, how can I start in the back end and after the fact, start building relationships with those people that I've dealt with. And then also asking myself the question, how can I implement touches that are true to me that I'm going to do? You only do what you want to do and that you are going to sustain, right? And then how do I keep top of mind with these people? So setting expectations. I try to start setting the expectation that the transaction is not the end of our relationship. So at closing, the day before closing or the day of closing, I'm sending them a text saying, hey, so excited for you, happy closing day. Can't wait to see what you do with the house, yada, yada. And then I'm mentioning our Client for Life program. So a lot of times people will be like, oh, this has been such a great experience. And I bring it into, well, this isn't the end of our relationship. I'm going to introduce you to our Client for Life program. And Rachel has talked about that and touched on that a little bit in some of the things that classes that she's given, and I will dive deeper into what that means as well. And then I'm mentioning, hey, after closing, this isn't the end of me. I'm going to start popping by and seeing you when I'm in your neighborhood or let you know that I'm thinking of you. So this isn't the end of our relationship. And then at that time, I'm also requesting referrals. I have a whole system of the points where I ask for referrals, which I've not been consistent with, I would say. We just had a team meeting about that. But I definitely am going to get back into asking for those referrals because they already know, love, and trust you, as we say in the business, and there's no reason not to do that throughout the process.
So my post-closing checklist, I have a spreadsheet that is like the hub of my life. If I lose this spreadsheet, I'm up the creek, right? So in there, I have all of my commission. And that is broken down by GCI, what I make because I'm on a team and all my splits and everything. And then after that is my touches. So I keep all of my touches in my spreadsheet as well because they're date specific. And in that spreadsheet also is like my year over year numbers. So all my numbers and everything are in there, my volume, my units, all of those things so that I have them ahead of time. And the reason I'm telling you this is because everything is integrated into that. So my 1 year cards or my yearly cards are in there. Because when you put someone into the system, they're not necessarily in the same place that everyone else is. My other people could be at their 3-year mark or when they're at their 1 year mark, it's not all the same. So to keep it all straight, I have it in there showing me exactly where they are in the process and how long they've been a client. At least you're looking at me straight.
I'm looking that could get overwhelming.
It would.
500 people.
It would if you didn't keep up with it. And this is when they close. So the minute that they close, you're putting them into the system and then the system does the work for you. Does that make sense what I'm saying? If you have 500 past clients, you're obviously not going to do all 500. You're going to pick your top 50 and start with the system.
Okay.
And then as you have it built, each time someone closes, then they just slip right into the system.
Can you share like the top and the side of your Excel spreadsheet? Like, you
Yeah.
have shared clients or whatever, but like your
Yeah,
title.
like what my titles are. Yeah, yeah.
I understand right card to co-op agent, and says right card to referring agent, who is that?
So if someone gave me a referral,
Okay,
I'm writing a card to them.
okay, so it doesn't mean it's an agent, but it could be a person too.
It could be a person too.
Right,
Yeah, I have a whole system for that too, so we can talk about that. So anyway, onward from the spreadsheet, I can send the spreadsheet to you guys, that's no problem, and just kind of take my personal stuff out and so you can see what that looks like. And then in Canva, I use Canva for everything. In Canva, I'm creating a year-end video. Some of you that are friends with me on Facebook have seen my year-end video where it shows all of the highlights of what happened throughout the year in my business. And it's kind of like a thank you to my clients at the end of the year. Just saying thank you for supporting my business. This is what happened. I'm slipping in there things that my team has done. I slip in things like when I got my luxury designation, I was named the market center rep for military. I'm just slipping in little things throughout the year. And also putting in client testimonials in that as well. So that goes out to Facebook at the end of the year and to my clients at the end of the year. But if you're doing it as you're going along, it's not such a big deal, right? And then I post on social with their testimonial as well. Writing a card to the co-op agent, I do that for every agent that I close with. I'm just saying thank you for the transaction, your professionalism, whatever, anything in particular that happened during the transaction. And then I write a card to the referring agent, like Barb and I were talking about. If I get a referral from a client, then I'm sending them, Cheryl's cookies. You can send Cheryl's cookies for $3. It takes 2 seconds to order it online and you just send it to the house. Thank you. And then when they close, I send another, maybe flowers or something after they close as well. So in this post-closing, when they close, I'm writing the 1-year anniversary card. I'm writing a Christmas card / New Year, depending on, and then I'm adding them to that Popeye sequence. So I've already got a whole year of cards written for Christmas and their 1-year anniversary. So those people are out of the way. At Christmas time, after Christmas is when I usually buy my cards because you can get them, 90% off. And I have a theme for my Christmas cards too, if you want to go to the nitty gritty. So my theme for my Christmas cards is usually a front door with a wreath on it or something. I look for cards like that. So there's consistency in a sort of like side branding that you would have. So it stays consistent. And then for the people who I've closed in the past, I will sit at my open houses at the beginning of the year and just write all the cards out. Because sometimes those open houses aren't so great, everybody hopes that they are, but sometimes they're not, and so I just bring the cards along and do it all year long.
But you don't, write a card to people that have a realtor.
No, those are the people that I've closed with.
Okay, just clear.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Any questions about any of that? It's kind of a lot, but I'm telling you, if you start it at closing, this is why I do it at closing. It's done. I don't have to think about it again, and they're already in the system and moving along with everybody. Does that make sense?
So you're doing this like. After they close, like, do you come back to the office? Do you do it at home? You just kind of find time to. do
Find
it?
time to do it. Yeah. Yeah. And I keep a sheet. So this was also born out of being a new agent, right? And there's all the things, there's all the checklists, all the timelines, all the crap that goes along when you're a new agent. And you're like so overwhelmed about all the things that need to be done. So I don't use as much now because I'm seasoned, but you know, the timelines and everything, and that's where this was born out of. As part of the checklist, if that makes sense.
I think like you look at this as like a lead gen filler.
Absolutely.
So if you're gonna come in and, you know, lead generate, this is where you wanna get your business from. Referral wise and repeat client wise, if this is just your lead generation plan post closing. In order to secure and retain that business and future business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you treat this like a filler of yours.
Yeah.
Really smart.
Right. And it's stuff that I enjoy doing. If you don't like doing this, you don't have to be as in depth with it as I am, but this is what I enjoy. This is my creative outlet. I have that side of my brain that just needs to create stuff. So it's killing two birds with one stone. It's giving me the creative outlet, and it's my leverage. Oops, backwards. Anybody know how to go backwards? There we go. Okay, so we'll talk about my touch plan, and I've talked about this in bold, I've talked about it in other meetings, but we're gonna just go a little bit deeper, and it's in writing now, right? So you can see what I'm doing. So these are my touches. I'm calling them at after the first week, because when something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen the first week they're in the house. They've got a million questions, they can't figure out how to get the ring to work, yada, yada. So I'm touching them at 1 week, that's usually a call. And then I'm touching them again at 1 month. And this is where our Client for Life program comes in. We give a binder to them that has things like their home warranty information. It has a copy of their inspection. It has referrals to estate attorneys, people that they need along the way that have to do with their house. We have a QR code that directs them to our vendor list. So it's just a whole host of things that they would need after the fact. And we present that to them. And I've also been giving them their closing gift at that time as well, because I think sometimes bringing the closing gift to closing, it's daunting. They're going to work. I put chocolate in it, it all melts. So just different things. I've started giving them their closing gift at that time. And I presented at closing saying, hey, you know, let's go ahead and schedule this in a month. And I'm gonna come by, I'm gonna bring your closing gift to you, a housewarming gift is what I call it at that point, and we're gonna talk about our Client for Life program. So it's very well received, it's not pressure, you know, it gives them a month to get in the house, get their stuff unpacked, whatever. And then I do a 3-month touch, which is usually an email. And then I do a 6, 9, and then the 1 year. The 1 year, we've already written a card, and it's just a call at that point. And all of these things are scheduled inside of my CRM.
Are your 6 and 9 month touches also emails, or does that?
It can be whatever you want. Yeah, it can be whatever you want. It can be another email, it could be a call, a text, could be another gift. So the logistics of the touches, remember I said we're gonna talk about a little about logistics. So our CRM and Command itself has smart plans, right? So you could tuck everything into a smart plan if you weren't disciplined enough to make sure that these things get done on their own. I do not necessarily schedule the emails and the texts through there. You know how you can pre-plan them, you can pre-put them in the. You gonna flip?
You gotta chat.
Oh, okay. You know how you can pre-plan them, you can just pre-schedule them to go out. I don't do that because I sometimes change it up what I want to go out to them. If I've just done a pop by to them, then it might just be an email or a text, not necessarily a call. So that's why I kind of leave it a little bit fluid, but if you're someone who absolutely will not be disciplined enough to do it on your own, then you can go ahead and schedule everything in your email. You can schedule Gmail. Gmail will automatically send out email if you tell it when to do it. And then cell phone, you can schedule text, depending on what kind of service you have, you can schedule a text ahead of time. So that day of closing, if you can't remember to do that, you can do that ahead of time and schedule it, and it goes out at 6 o'clock in the morning or whenever you want it to go out. Any questions? I'm talking too fast.
Logistics of scheduling the text. How do you do that?
Google, you can schedule through, if you use Gmail.
On your phone?
Yeah, well, through the Gmail account,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Lisa, I think it's easier to do it on like your laptop.
Yeah.
Versus the phone.
It's easier to see.
It's definitely easier to do it on the laptop.
You type out the text
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you schedule it for future,
and then
it goes out.
Like, I can't remember people's birthdays, so I said, well, they're talking about birthdays.
Yeah.
I've been living under a rock.
It's actually good sense.
So this is just this is just kind of an example of the emails that I send out. I've created in Canva, happy 3 months. This one. This is, you can do videos too. I've done videos. So this is just a little, they click on it when it opens.
Where do you get that?
Oh, I created it in
That's
Canva.
Part of Canva.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
I've used so this is part of when I put their house in Canva, right?
Yeah.
Whenever we're doing that year-long thing, I've already got a picture of the house in Canva and I can use it for all different things.
Oh, that's cute.
Do you just get that picture off the MLS?
Yeah, I ask permission to use the MLS pictures, or sometimes I'll take a picture in front of them, in front of their house too, and use those.
So do you have, MLS for permission?
No, but
You ask the listing agents. 2.5 years. So those are just like little examples of things that I do. Any questions about those logistics?
Did you want to go over what you tell me when you talk to them about this?
say that louder.
Yeah, she's asking about the Client for Life. Yeah, so the Client for Life program is, I present that a month after. And it's a binder that just has, it has things like their home inspection, it has their home warranty information. It has some blank, I didn't say this before, but it has some blank sleeves in it that they can put all of their information. The intent is for them to keep it throughout the life of the home. Any improvements that they've done to the house, any receipts that they have for work that they've done, they can just keep it all in there. So when they go to sell the house, if they do, they have it all in one place.
And you take that after 3 months.
That's the
Or
1 month.
1 month.
That's the 1 month. visit.
Okay, after 1 month.
Yeah.
Lisa, this is off topic, but when do you ask for referrals? Not referrals, when do you ask for reviews?
Yeah, we do it all throughout the process. Kind of starts at the beginning. There's a QR code and there's a QR code in that Client for Life book as well, if they haven't done it. So it's kind of all throughout. And at the closing table, we usually try to remember to do that as well.
Is that for a Google review or?
Yeah, for a Google review, we give them a QR code or we give them the link. I recently listened to a podcast where they were saying they give them cues about what to put in the review, like, let me give you the first line. As a first-time home buyer, Lisa helped you with the process in blah, blah, blah. So you give them the first line if you feel comfortable doing that. I thought that was good because some people just don't even know what to write. Some people just put 5 stars and that's the end of it. There's no commentary, but that, it still helps with the SOI, but. What is that word I'm looking for?
SEO.
SEO, thank you. With your SEO, not sphere of influence, your SEO, so.
What does that mean?
the SEO. It's how, yeah, it helps the optimization, the algorithms and all of that, so you're on top of mind there, you know, when there's somebody doing Google search, it helps you pop up.
Okay.
All right, so Popeyes, this is my fun part. These are the Popeyes that I'm doing this year, so January, and you guys can look at them, I brought samples of them, January I did cocoa. March and April I kind of combined together because I was traveling out of the country, and so I did seeds, which was easy, I just mailed them. You can mail your Popeyes too, you don't need to drop them off. June I did sunscreen. July, an ice cream scoop, May barbecue season, I did like a little hamburger flipper and some seasoning. February, I did a mailbox, so when I was looking for those Christmas cards, I'm already starting to plan my year. I was already starting to plan my year, so I bought the Christmas cards at World Market was part of them, and they had the hot cocoa on clearance for 90% off. So I got these little packets of cocoa for like 25 cents. Right, and they're good until next year. And they also have these little containers, so, because I didn't have enough of the cocoa mixes, so I just had to kind of mix and match. So I bought those 90% off. And they also had those little chocolate balls that are in foil. They had red, green, gold, and silver. So I took the silver and the red ones and used those for February in my little mailbox with a card and the candy, and I mixed in some candy parts in there too.
And then
And
you
then-
would mail it?
I took it to them, took it there, okay. So then they also had the green and the gold, which I was going to use for March, but I ended up traveling all the country, so I'll use them next year. So I got all of that stuff at 90% off. It doesn't go bad, it just sits in my basement and it's fine and it's good to go, but find those things, just finding things that are on sale after the fact. So the Christmas cards are after the fact. I go this season after and got the little mailboxes at, again, 90% off. They were 97 cents to start at, like 89 cents each. And I bought just everything that they had at the store at the time. So it's just kind of constantly thinking about different ways to save money too. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. Some people do spend a lot of money, like, you know, $10 or $15 per Popeye, but they're not doing them every month like I'm doing them. So, you know, you just have to kind of see what your budget is. And Barb, you have a question?
The question is, like, how many of these do you do? I know it depends obviously how busy you've been, but as far as going back to your other clients, how many are you doing a year? As far as.
So right now I haven't gotten to the point where I've dropped anyone off. Because it's working so well for me. I'm getting calls, I'm getting referrals. It's working so well that I haven't had anybody that's not responded to me through my Popeye system. They're always saying thank you, or so sorry I missed you, or whatever. I haven't got to that point yet, so I probably have, 80 people that I'm giving them to right now.
So these are people that have bought from you or sold for them,
Yeah,
but not just a VIP person that you.
you could add the VIP person in there who just gives you referrals too.
Right.
You know, it's whatever you want it to
There's
be.
been some money exchange with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else have I done? So, yeah, we did the ice cream scoop, and the most recent one that I'm going to be doing this month is jam. So the card says, spread the word, real estate is my jam, and your
Oh.
referrals are very sweet. So that goes in a little, and it's just a little jam, and I got the jams from Amazon. So it's very cost effective. I think that's less than $1 for all of that.
What else is in the little bag?
Just the jam. Just the jam. Yeah.
All right, so logistics, let's talk, do you plan it out so that when you're out showing other houses, you stop by or you drive? I mean, how does the whole logistics work, and do you spend time going into the house or do you stay at the door?
No. No, I do not.
No.
No, what? No, there's a lot of questions there. No.
So what, yeah, we can go, here's just like the cards that I did, but we can go back to that.
Oh my gosh.
So logistics. So I have a spreadsheet, that spreadsheet again. every month is at the top of the spreadsheet, their names are down the sides.
Mhm.
And I'm grouping people by location.
Mhm.
So everybody in Dublin is one, everybody that is kind of Hilliard, Dublin, that area is one. Grove City down through Canal is another. And then like Midtown is another. Then I've got Powell on over the rest of the way, right? So I have it in two groups now, because I have enough clients that it's two separate groups. So I might go 2 days a month to these two groups and 2 days a month to these two groups. And it's only like an hour and a half. It doesn't take that long because they're all close together. You can use Google Maps, put everybody in there and say, give me the best route to go to all of these places. You can do it through the MLS. So there are ways for you to find the best route for yourself. I also have it rooted, well, okay, if I'm coming from home or if I'm coming from the office. So depending on where I'm leaving from, I have different routes, right? So that's how they're divided. And then when I'm going to the house, I'm leaving the car running. Knocking on the door and saying, hey, my car's running, just wanted to stop by, spreading some love today. The best day that I found that to do it, it actually is on Sunday. If you can do it on Sundays. Our team schedule allows me to do it like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So Monday morning before I come, I'll do it too. Just depends on how much time I have. And if I've kind of missed my spot for the month to get it out for that month, like I still have a couple ice cream scoops. that they should have done that. If they don't answer, I leave it on their door. I take a picture of it, send a text saying, hey, sorry, I missed your drop by, say hi. Yeah.
So each 80 people, okay, that you have get something every month.
Nope, we'll go back to logistics. So they do not, they get something every other month.
Okay.
It was originally my plan to do it once a quarter. But my MAPS coach said, no, why don't you try doing it every other month? I think you'll have better results. So I'm doing it every other month now. So group A gets something in January, group B gets something in February, and then we flip flop. When we get to the end of the year, because I've already got this planned out and I have enough bought for 2 years. The B people I do in January and the A people I do in February. So they're getting this different ones, but the same that I did the year before, because I've already got it planned out. So it's a 2-year plan already put into place. Yeah.
And Lisa, you're asking for a referral every single time you go?
If I'm seeing them face to face, yeah. And I'll show you like some of my cards. Some of my cards are asking for referrals on the cards and some of them aren't. I don't want them to think I'm hounding them for referrals. It's just something out of the goodness of my heart that I'm doing.
How's this like received by your people?
I love it.
Tell me about it.
It's so much fun. It's so fun to see them and they're like, hey, we did this, we did that. It's so good to see you. It's a good feeling, like, you know, I think a lot of times, sometimes we get imposter syndrome and we're like, oh, they didn't like us, and you know, we do this, or everybody just loves to see you again. They really do, and it just reiterates, you're a good agent, you did a good job for them, they're happy to see you. So, I don't know, some of my ghosts, but
And what's your business look like this year? Now that you're like.
yeah, I did the numbers yesterday, and, so by way of GCI, before I pay any splits or anything, it's equated to about $90,000 in GCI this year. So the majority of my business has been repeat business from my clients or referrals from them. So it's paying off for sure.
So do you ever get people that, when they come to the door, and you said that they start talking about what they've done, and they want you to come in and see it, you just rely on the fact that you said you're coming for me?
Yep, I'll be like, I can just be a second. I left my car running. I go see what they've got and then get out of there. Cause you don't want to, that is not the goal of it is not to spend a bunch of time with them, because you have a million things you've got to get onto. So but it's just.
But
really
you do
fun.
go look at it.
Yep. Yeah. You sure you want to make your car? Doesn't wear a mask.
It's free.
I have a question. So if you have a large family, like with kids, and you're giving out hot cocoa, do you just give 2 hot cocoa? Do you give 4?
Usually I'll give enough for the family.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll set those aside. I don't, for some reason, I haven't had a lot of people with a bunch of kids. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's my demographic, but it's usually, well, I guess maybe it's my age and the people that I attract that are retiring or, you know, downsizing, those types of people that I work with mostly, but I will give them extras. And then at Halloween and stuff, like the ones that have a little kids, I'll give them something extra, a little food basket with different things in it or whatever. Let's see.
Cards.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh. So these are all made in Canva. So this was the one for Coco, Cheers to 2024, and your introductions to family, friends, and coworkers who would benefit from my services. So just something simple and sweet. Special delivery for special clients, that was February. I did a lotto one in the past where I gave a lot of lotto ticket.
Yeah.
Make note that it's against the law to mail lottery tickets. You have.
Oh.
Like
Do you know that from experience?
No,
It is against the
no,
law.
but it is against the law, because it's considered gambling.
Gambling. I thought that was allowed. If marijuana is allowed.
Yeah, right. So this had a, I put the lottery card and my business card on that too. Then I was going to be doing some chocolate bunnies, but then of course I went out of the country, so I didn't use this one this year. I did the flowers instead, so ready to spring into action for you. And if you don't want to make these cards, if you're not creative, you can go to Etsy. Etsy has a ton of them if you don't mind paying for them.
That already have little sayings on.
Yeah, and I create them through Canva.
This one, it's seeds.
Yeah, this was a seed. I create them through Canva and I have them printed. They're usually business card size, and then on the back, I put my print your information on the back as well. So it's real easy. It's cheap. It's, you know, 100 cards is like $15. So I buy 100 at a time and we'll have them for years to come. This was the barbecue one that I did. I kind of ripped off a little bit of the design, changed some things up from the stuff that I actually saw on Etsy. Pinterest is another good area and place to find the sayings and stuff too.
So you said, because you do every other month, do you just do that one that you just showed us and then flip it the next year? Or you've not done that? Or not?
So
So flip it because like the people who were January, March, and then you can just now say, oh, the people who were the other
that's
month.
exactly what I do. So the people that were
Switch 'em.
February are now January, and so that's why it stays as a 2-year plan, because I have to do it with group A and group B.
So when group A gets this, like if group A gets this year one, group B would get it.
Yep, exactly.
And I guess even if we're just starting, we can just start with you know, whatever.
Yeah, whatever month.
And then switch them out the next year.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And that's in my spreadsheet. What I did, who got what, and then they just slide in, so I can see, like, I have a ton of the Halloween ones that I did the first year, that I didn't do years 2, 3, and 4, so I'm gonna just slip those in and give those out just to get rid of them. This was for sunscreen that I did. This was last month. Here's the scoop, was just an ice cream scoop because it was National Ice Cream Month or something silly like that. This is the one I'm doing this year, and see, I've got the house in there, so the house, the door, the fans are just continuing the theme. This was Buckeye, so also, oh, I'm sorry, I got a question.
Do you wear a Halloween costume?
No. No, it would be so fun to do that. That'd be so
But I'll say,
Yeah, so this was, I did Buckeyes for this, but what brought me to the Buckeyes is that family reunion. I did it again, and I had told Nakia and Katie about doing that. I brought Buckeyes to family reunion, gave that with my card and said, here from the Buckeye State, love your referrals in Central Ohio. And it just rolls off your tongue. It's not invasive. Other people are handing out cards anyway, but just the Buckeye was one more way for people to remember who I was. And in the military, in the military breakout session, they gave us 15 minutes to go and introduce us to people, so I gave out over 100 just in that 15 minutes or whatever. It was really fun. I'm gonna do caramel apples this in September, so that'll be for apples.
Are you making it yourself?
No, that is another thing that I do not do. I do not make anything myself. I don't want to risk people being sick or them just throwing it away, so everything I buy is already prepackaged. This was for the pumpkin carving kits that you can get at the Dollar Tree for $1. So it doesn't have to be expensive, and that's really not the point. It's just to be top of mind.
That's cute.
And then that was the little Christmas card that I put. Each year for my people who bought with me, I give them a Christmas ornament. I had a couple left over in 2023, so I give them a Christmas ornament that came from Hobby Lobby. I think I paid like $1.67. So they're just really cute and fun and just really something good. We talked about that. So any questions about anything?
It's great.
Yeah.
So I was curious, you mentioned about the building buckets. Are you starting to see any like building relationship with other agents and also your clients? Like, are you doing reviews for other agents? Are you seeing anything like that with everything that's changing in the industry?
Yeah, I've been doing
Yeah.
that too, especially when there are referral agents leaving
Yeah.
reviews for other agents that I've worked with in
Yeah.
co-ops, and then making sure that somehow when I post something about a closing, I tag that referral agent too.
Okay, smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing that. So what's next? So I'm part of the Ovarian Cancer Alliance of Ohio. None of you know I'm an ovarian cancer survivor. And so it's something that's really near and dear and passionate to me. So it was important to me to build a community within that community where people could come and they could feel safe and they could meet other women and just build that community. So that is my next thing. And I talked about this at family reunion too last year about building a community within your community. So that's what my next step is. And I'm going to be doing that through events. So what's the first event? So we're doing a fundraiser for OCAO and it's a bingo. We've been doing that for years, a designer bag bingo. So, well, we're already sold out, but maybe I can get you in. We sold out like in a week, 300 seats all in a week.
Wow.
Something that I created years ago and it's just grown into this monster, but it's great. So I'm inviting some of my clients saying, bring a guest. So I'm meeting with my clients again, and I'm meeting someone in their community that I don't know. And then Josh and I are gonna do a OSU watch party together and invite our clients and have them bring a friend as well.
Like
And then,
here?
yeah, we are gonna actually do it here. And then I'm going to do, I used to have an antique store, I thought about me too. I had an antique store, did some resale stuff. I'm just like. It's a resale stuff. Long story short, I was gonna be making some wreaths for that. So I have a ton of wreath stuff. So I'm going to be doing a wreath making clinic or whatever,
Oh, that's
bringing my
cute.
clients in, having them bring a friend on a Saturday morning. It's something that I love to do, and it has to do with the house because it's their front door, right, in their wreath. So,
And it's free.
and it's free for them. Cause I already have all the supplies that
Yeah.
are sitting in my basement that I want to get rid
Where you
of. So I
can do
thought
that.
we're gonna do it here in the office.
Bring a bunch of programs.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Bring all the stuff for them to make it, so it's free to them.
Cute.
Yeah, and then, we're having another bingo in November. And I want to do a event for, people to bring their pets. Every single client I have, I don't know about y'all, but every single client I have has pets.
Yeah.
Every single one. So if you wanna do a pet portrait day, find someone who either has photography as a hobby or even get a college student in who is, majoring in photography or something and have them do that. So those are the things that I've got planned, but that is the next step of what I'm doing. It's just building that.
So when you do that pet portrait day and you have someone take the photographs, then how does that work from there?
Then I'll get them developed and send them out to them, or that might be another pop by, might be another text.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You can get a frame, cheap one.
Yeah. Mhm.
So for those of us in the room that are creatively challenged,
or logistically challenged as far as getting them required by the public hearing? Like, what would be some maybe ideas for substitutes of that, where you can still keep that structure in that system where you're implementing, but maybe a couple different swap outs?
Like for ideas of how to get it done and not do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
There-
like that Lulu.
yeah, that Lolo.
Lolo.
Yeah, I've not tried that. I know some people there.
Do you do
tried Lolo.
newsletter? I'm super curious.
Do I use what?
And do you do a newsletter then?
I don't.
Okay, just.
I used to do one for OCAO and to be honest, it was so daunting.
Okay.
It was so daunting. I would do one.
Remove the newsletter, because you're actually talking.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But that is a good point, which I forgot to say, so. In creating this, I am going to kind of put out a mini newsletter to say, hey, sorry, we missed you, this is what happened, we had a great time, blah, blah, blah. To encourage people to come moving forward, so
Take on to what?
come to the events that I'm gonna be doing to try to build my community. Okay. Yeah, so sending them pictures, but Rachel, to answer your question, so Cheryl's Cookies sends things out, there are a bunch of different companies that will send things out on a monthly basis, monthly subscriptions, they're a little pricier. It would cost you more to do things that way, but yeah, there are subscription services, even Etsy, I think people on Etsy. I mean, if I weren't in real estate, I probably would build this as a business myself. Because, you know, once you have it built, it's just a matter of putting it out. So I want to encourage you to do this. I don't want you to feel daunted by doing this. If you just get started, please. If you just get started today, little by little, and don't, you know, you don't have to do it every month. Do it once a quarter. Give yourself the time to build it. And you know, we're blessed and cursed with the market going up and down, but we're starting to get into the slower times. So maybe now this is the time that you start implementing slowly. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Because it has taken me how long? 4 years to build this system, but I started from day one. So let this be your day one.
So when you started from day one, you had no clients, okay? And let's just say that you got 6, 8 clients, but, okay. So did you start with this? And were you going every month? Were you going every month? Were you
At the
The very
beginning, I was
beginning,
doing
the start,
it was quarterly.
quarterly?
Beginning it was quarterly. And then my coach said, you need to do this every other month. At least.
At least.
And at first I was like,
So,
but it's really not.
Not that bad once you get into it.
I think when you have the perspective of, you know, you're supposed to be calling clients anyways, you're supposed to be checking with them every quarter, like, this is just your way of doing something that's gonna be a little bit more personal, valuable to them.
Right.
You know, rather than the doctor, we're all supposed to be doing this, this is your path.
Right.
Yeah.
for Christmas, does everyone get a Popeye? Or maybe not a Popeye, but a card for sure.
Yeah, they are getting that card for sure because I'm writing it when they close. Remember, we're writing the Christmas card, we're writing the 1-year card at closing. And then that first month of January, usually when I'm rewriting the people that have already closed. With that.
Oh, in the past, that's
Mhm.
right, that's
Yeah.
right, because they closed. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you, just do Christmas, I mean, do you?
I do Mother's Day, I do Father's Day, just depending on, yeah.
You don't wear that Christmas versus Hanukkah?
No, it's
Holiday.
just usually a holiday card, yeah, other than the ornaments. And they don't say Merry Christmas on them. Well, they have those ones too. And if they don't want them, they just throw them away, that's not the point. Yeah, I paid $1.67 for it, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Cause it's better than paying for leads, thousands of dollars when I'm not getting any leads in the current, at least I know.
Right, absolutely.
Like I said, I have GCI of $90,000 this year just because I've kept up with my clients. Everyone is repeating. Rachel, how many have I had that have bought with me and are selling with me now? 4
I think that's your business right now, this year, and you're trying to get that up, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well, just remember back in slide 1, I said my 5-year goal was to have this happen. So how, I was thinking way back when, how can I make this happen? Because it costs way more to obtain new clients versus clients that already know, love, and trust you, like to say.
Have you found that this helps you find those like champion clients that just kind of weeds them out for you, the ones that are? Gonna be
Well, like I said, I haven't had any who've not been responsive. Maybe there's one that's not been responsive. But it's just because that's who they are.
To keep them on the list.
And I'm gonna keep them on the list, yeah. And I also have a motto, I'm not gonna change who I am because of who someone else is. So even if it's a client that I don't care to work with again, I'm still keeping them on the list. Because you never know.
Right, you never know who
Don't
he
know.
knows.
The people who I have one set of clients like that Aaliyah and I worked with. And they're always so appreciative. It's the most bizarre thing. I thought that they would never respond to me, but I sent a Mother's Day card and she's like, that is so nice. Thank you so much. And it was just like 50 cents.
Yeah.
Right?
They might not get recognized, but like you're recognizing them.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
You're amazing, you're really true.
It's easy. You just have to do it. Just do it.
I think it's successful.
Well,
I
that's
expect that you close the deal and you already write the Christmas card, but if you had to write 80 Christmas cards, sitting on your house.
Yeah, we've been.
In
through that.
December.
Yeah.
I never go by Christmas cards.
25 days a year, which is pretty much what I average, 25, 30 deals a year. I've already got 25 out of my 150 or whatever.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was a little late, so I apologize if you know this, but birthday, you do like a system for birthdays, are they on your spreadsheet and then you do cards or what do you do that?
I don't, they're usually in my CRM.
If they automatically send any-
And I'm really not great about getting the birthdays. I'm not, to be honest.
I
with you.
struggled with getting birthdays from clients, like realtors sent me that all about me.
Yeah.
I give this to them, I never find the appropriate time to be like, hey, look at your favorite candy, like, so I can, you know,
Right.
so.
Right.
Katie. Yeah.
Pop up the birthdays.
Yeah. I
Somewhere.
They mentioned it, I started myself, it is a moving target.
Like, yeah, even like great systems that are not moving targets, like Christmas is always. Yeah.
Right.
Fair,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
I was just curious how systemized you were, like if you conquered birthdays, but like I.
No, I never get the dates, because that to me. It's in my own head, obviously, because I want to know your day and your month. I don't care about your year. And
Yeah.
people are always like, oh, I don't want to tell you my year. So that's like just a mental block that I have about getting birthdays. Yeah, but that would go in my CRM. It wouldn't be a part of my spreadsheet.
You can get them.
Who knows, nobody knows.
Yeah, you do. Create them on Facebook, most stuff is funny.
Or, our app that we have, what is it called? The forewarn.
Oh, forewarned, yeah, it doesn't have birthdays on there.
Oh,
though.
it does, oh, okay.
Gives you the age.
Yeah.
Doesn't give you the age date on the birthday.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? I know it's kind of without showing you the spreadsheet when I'm talking about it, it's kind of difficult.
No, I love this. I think
It's on my laptop.
if you're like a newer agent or a younger agent in the business, and you'd rather you have the time to like create the system and implement it based on your client base, like that's a huge opportunity, and then you can outsource. Like you can get a subscription through handwritten and have all those cards handwritten and mailed out automatically, it costs you more for your time, but it's a way to kind of scale and leverage or use low and replace it with maybe a couple top hires or whatever. it was. Yeah, like, but the system is always there, right? You just figure out how you're gonna leverage and scale it and measure the system.
And get rid of people who are not like low, that use it.
Or whatever, you know.
Does anybody?
Some people like it.
I use it and I get texts all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not good at proactively telling them like, hey, when's coming, but
But they, have to go get it.
yeah, they redeem it and then you get alerted. So then I can just kind of read it and go.
Well, looking at cool ones, that are always looking for cool shit to do in Columbus.
Yeah.
That's the logo is.
Yeah.
You have those clients, they're gonna go do it because they're gonna be trendy and they're cool. I'm not that good. But I like that because we'll move it, and it's so inexpensive, you don't make it.
Right. We get a lot of responses. We just sent out the Buckeye, schedule for the games.
Yeah.
I get a lot of people thanking me, texting me, calling me, whatever. They really
That
love
is
that.
something so simple.
And then somebody saw that somebody else got it and they want it. So I added them to the list. Yeah, Megan and I talk too much. We write this whole diary or something. So it takes us a long time to get them out. Usually it's the top 100 people. But it takes a good week. If you're
But
doing
you
it,
drop those off, right?
no,
No, you mail
but
that.
we can write the address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we put a note in there, make it personal.
That's something that I do also. I stamp them. I don't use the stamp machine. Just personal preference. I just feel like it's more personalized and I first address everything, so. Just little touches.
Yeah,
to make
it
it
just
personalized.
makes-
I
it
think
makes
that's,
sense.
Rachel's running it through the machine.
You are. I'm like, who can I have do, I like Popeyes, I'm never gonna go. Like that. But I might mail something. Right?
Right, and that's the C packet, when I was in a pinch, that was perfect. It just went right in the mail. It was no big deal.
What was this?
The C packets that I did, cause I was gonna go, you know, maybe with my son and see work, so.
And some people like it in seven.
Yeah.
That's a good idea to keep your door open, because when I did pies for Thanksgiving, I could be in a house for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Oh,
oh my
God.
goodness, so my whole schedule is off.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I can't do this.
I know, I'm like,
On my side.
Yeah.
right, I hear ya.
So like obviously, as your business keeps growing from these referrals, this whole database and system will keep growing. So like, how are you gonna manage, like, when it gets too overwhelming for the time you have? How are you gonna manage when it keeps growing, but the time you have is obviously gonna stay the same? Like, how are you gonna manage it when it gets too,
A lot of people pay people to do it,
okay,
you know, that's something you should do, pay people to do it.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it.
and you're obviously gonna try to get to as many as you
I
can.
think your opportunity is like, who prefers you, who does bring you business with you, and now you create a spread of like, okay, now I got 50 people I'm gonna go see, and the other people are gonna get more automated.
Or they're-
I guess that's what I was
It's
asking.
a quarter and not every
Yeah.
month.
Are you gonna find the clients that you're gonna be more attentive to with this?
Yeah,
Once it gets to
yeah,
that
most
point?
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I've already got some people who've given me referrals.
Yeah,
You know, like one.
You have a lot of spreadsheets.
It's one spreadsheet with a bunch of tabs.
No, I was talking about another spreadsheet for your referrals, higher potential.
It's all just in one thing on.
Do the
tab.
hours record sheet.
Yeah, yeah.
She's in that.
And then, you know, when you're meeting with your team lead and she says, hey, what are your numbers? It's already in there. I don't have to go back and recreate the wheel. And you should be tracking a commission like that.
Yes, I have a question. So I know when you close, you're doing your card, your 1 year anniversary and the Christmas card. So for the following year, when do you find that time to do your card?
Just on a Saturday when I have nothing to do, if I don't come in showing that day, or I'm sitting in open house. I
Right.
pull up that spreadsheet, bring a pack of 20 cards with me and just write them, and it's not like a huge long message, it's just like, hey, happy 1 year anniversary. Hope you had a great year of making memories, whatever, second year, you know, something a little different. And it's easy to just take a pack of 20 cards with you.
Right. It is.
And I buy those on Etsy too. They say happy house anniversary and then I buy those on, maybe I'm not on Amazon, but there are a lot of people who.
Yeah, your thank you card, you do on Etsy. You did your thank you, or just regular dollars.
Just regular dollar thing. Yeah.
Aldi's a great place to pick up cards.
I would say.
Aldi?
They have. Aldi. And then-
Aldi.
Aldi.
Yeah. I was like, so I did. $6 card on that.
I think Lots is a good place to look for the Christmas ones too. Big Lots. Honestly, I have good prices there. And you know where somewhere else is that you wouldn't think of is Staples. Staples, they seem to reduce their price right off the bat to 90% off. Right after Christmas. You can find it even there.
So if I were like clean slated, I have nothing in place other than my e-newsletter that goes out or whatever. Like, what would be the best first step, you think, for someone like who wants to get started in this? Probably a question.
That's a loaded question. I don't know. I mean, I guess the people that have been referring to business in the past. And just start adding people as you close them. You know, is there a big book of business who's giving you referrals in the past? People that you haven't talked to in a long time, maybe start doing them once a quarter, just to bring them back into the fold. You could also target, what do we know about cyclical selling? So 5 to 7 years, people that have been in their homes 5 to 7 years, is that
Right.
something that you can start targeting them, and you know that it's about time for them to start selling and buying again? Yeah. Good.
That's
Great.
Now just go do it.
Just
Do it.
Go do it.
Yeah,
Right.
Thanks, Lisa.
So,
11:05. Yeah.
Sorry, Mama.
That's why I'm thinking.
Coming back on.
That was Wednesday. Are you doing it? Going to a.
Yeah.
Because I want to. Right.
Yeah, right. Start right off the bat. Yeah.
Really fun. Well,
I really appreciate you. For sure, I got to figure out, right.
Yeah, maybe one of the person that's.
Okay, actually.
614.
Yeah, they really do.
Mitchell.
It's fun, you can do one of my friends.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah.
500. 2187.
Then like, going to.
Well, you might have to do it in your profile. Anything.
It takes my little time here.
It's like your profile just have a case. Yeah.
I'm like, I knew it was gonna be
yeah. I just graduated. Last Sunday. Yeah, I love this stuff. But it's absolutely. I had a couple of friends like I graduated where I. Every time. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And Lori, she does.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be like my car's ready, even though it's not on.
Then they say. Yeah. That's what it is. Oh, yeah, that's all. So that's like.
Two.